Hey everyone, I'm Angie Johnson, and I'm excited to kick off our Meet Me Monday series. And each week we're going to be highlighting one of the different premieres from the Detox Divas company, and we're all going to be sharing our stories and just sharing a little bit of our backgrounds so you can get to know us better, and also just kind of giving you some insight to what our business has been like, some of the things that we've done. And I'm excited to be the first person to kick this off today. So I just want you to know I am the one that runs this Detox Divas company premiere page. So again, I'm Angie Johnson, and I'm excited to share my story. And so I want to start by going back to who I was before Posh. Before Posh, I was full time in healthcare. I was in healthcare for 15 years. I was a medical laboratory technologist, and so I was the person that did like the blood testing and other body fluid testing and all of that fun stuff. And I did enjoy it for a long time. It did get to a point where it was highly stressful, as healthcare can be. I'm sure anyone in healthcare can relate to how stressful that can be. And it took a lot of time away from my family. At the time, I had three kids, and we were doing the daycare thing, and I didn't get to see them much. And it was really hard for a while. And I even actually worked two jobs at the time. Worked Monday through Friday at one job, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, midnights at another job. And my husband was working too, and we had three kids, and it was a little crazy. And so that was my life for a while. And then, surprisingly and unexpectedly, um, 5 years ago, I found myself pregnant with baby number four, who was just an absolute miracle baby. I'm talking like 1% chance that we would ever have any more kids. And so, did not expect that, but we were very blessed by it. And I really got to thinking when I was pregnant with her that I was so tired of having our kids in and out of daycare and working so much. Like our whole life was just work, sleep, eat, feed the kids. And it was just crazy for the longest time. And we looked at things financially on paper a bunch, and we knew that I couldn't quit work. It just wasn't going to work. When she was born early, and she spent some time in the NICU. And that was very hard for me, um, a very tough time because I had never had a baby have to go in the NICU before. It was scary. She had breathing issues, and she actually stopped breathing a couple of times. And so she stayed there for a couple of weeks. And when it was time for us to bring her home, I was a nervous wreck because we had to watch her all the time to make sure she wasn't having any more breathing issues and things like that. And it was getting close to time for me to go back to work from my maternity leave. And I just could not wrap my head around putting her in daycare with her being a preemie, her having breathing issues. I couldn't do it. It was going to break my heart. And so, even though on paper it definitely looked like it was impossible, we decided I was going to quit my jobs and not go back to work. And I was going to stay home with her and the other kids full time. So I did that, and we did everything we could to make things work. We budgeted, we buckled down, we didn't go out to eat, we did everything I could. I started couponing full time. We got all of our groceries that way. There were weeks that we literally didn't have $5 or $10 left over. Like it was very, very tight, but somehow by the grace of God and coupons and just finding things to sell or to save money. I'm talking about things to sell like when the kids were done and outgrow clothes and just things like that. We found ways to scrape by on one income. But after about 2 years, when she was about 2 years old, things were getting too tight. We had too much things on credit cards. We had just not very much money left. Things were just getting very tight, and we knew something had to give. We knew that either I had to go back to work full time, my husband was going to have to take a second job, or just something was going to have to happen because the money was not coming in. So I just really didn't want to go back to healthcare. I didn't want to go back to that life. So I did start doing some research online, and I thought maybe there's something I can do from home. Flashback to my past 10 or 15 years, um, I have tried multiple direct sales companies. I've done more than I can really name, just to name a few: Mary Kay, Norwex, Party Light Candles, Latasia Jewelry. There was a Bath and Body company called Lady Emily, no longer exists. Avon, twice, actually 3 times with Avon. I had done tons of direct sales in the past. I was not successful with any of them. Um, Never built a team, never really could make it work past a couple of months. And so my mind was very closed off to doing anything direct sales or work from home-ish that had to do with sales at that time. So I began to research online and think maybe there's something that I can do to work from home that's not direct sales. Maybe I can do like word processing. I don't know, just go to school for something that I can do from home, that I can still be home with my kids and not have to go back to healthcare. So I started researching things, and through doing that, I stumbled upon a Facebook group. I live in Tennessee, and it was like Tennessee Moms or something like that. I can't even really even remember the name of the page because I don't think it exists anymore. But I went into that page and was just reading some of the things, and anything that was like Pampered Chef, any of that stuff, I just skipped right over. I'm like, nope, not doing it, not doing it. I am not giving this sales thing another shot. Failed too many times. My husband and my friends will think I'm crazy if I try another sales job. So I just kept scrolling, and I really wasn't seeing anything that I thought could actually work or that was legit. And then I stumbled upon a post from my upline, Cassie Shannon, and she was just doing the product testing, just giving out samples. And, I thought at that point, I had not, she said something like, "Can I pamper you? Free samples." I can't even remember what it said, but it caught my eye. And I thought, at that point, I had not been pampered at all. The only Bath and Body products that were in my shower or I can afford were those that I got free with coupons. They were like Suave, Alberto VO5, that kind of stuff. If I could get it free with coupons, I would get it. Otherwise, I didn't get anything for myself. And so the thought of getting some samples to get pampered with, I thought, sure, why not? I wasn't thinking of it as a job. I was like, let me just try some samples. So I told her she could send me the samples. And at the same time, I had a friend that was in Jamberry Nails who also wanted me to sample some things out for her. So I told her, go ahead and send me that stuff too. So I'm looking at these 2 companies and not really thinking of them as jobs at first, but thinking I'll just test these things out. I know I can't afford them, but it's something fun right now because I don't get to pamper myself much. The samples came from Cassie and Posh, and I tried the Chatter soap first and absolutely loved it. I thought it was wonderful. It was a great experience. The rest of the samples sat on my bathroom sink for a while before I even touched them again. At that time, I was looking through the catalog and some things, and I thought, oh, this is kind of cool, but I don't really know. And that's when I noticed it was natural products, and I thought, oh, these are natural. That would be really cool to be able to have something like this for my girls and for my kids, but this stuff's kind of expensive, and it's not really expensive, but at the time it really was to me. Um, and I don't know if I can, work with something like this, or I can't order any of these, but I started thinking in the back of my mind again, maybe I could try this, or maybe I could try Jamberry Nails. Maybe I could give this sales thing one more try, even though I've failed time and time again before. What if it did work? What if it could work? I don't know. Maybe it can. So I talked to Cassie a little bit. It took me forever to try my samples again. She probably thought I wasn't going to come around. I don't know. But to make this video not an hour long, um, I tried the stripper next, and I was a little taken aback by the name at first, if I'm being perfectly honest. I was like, stripper? What is this? I remember getting in the shower and just kind of rubbing some on my arm and thinking, is this supposed to do something? Not feeling it. And I thought, that's kind of odd. I just put a little mud on my arm, but whatever. Never realizing its full awesomeness at that moment. And then I tried a lip scrub and absolutely fell in love. So I actually really went back and forth with this for a couple of weeks. I was asking my friends, "What do you think of Jamberry nails? Has anybody heard of this Posh thing?" And nobody had, but people were interested. And the majority of my friends seemed to think that if I was going to try something else, that I should try Posh over the nails. I got my Jamberry nail samples in and I couldn't even put the things on. I thought, this is a sign. I cannot sell something that I can't even use. So, $99 was a huge, huge investment for us at that point. Money was tight, but I kept wrestling back and forth with it, and I just kept feeling maybe I should take this chance. And at one point, I was fighting it so much that I actually took my Posh catalog, and it looked like this. It was our very first catalog, and I tossed it in the recycle bin and said, I'm not thinking about this anymore. It's not happening. I'm done. I'm not even entertaining the thought. Start putting your resume out there for the lab jobs again. And a couple days went by, and it was a total God thing. I knew that there had to be a reason. I kept thinking about this Posh thing. Why can't I get it out of my head? Went to my recycle bin, dug the catalog back out. This is the very first catalog that I ever received. Look at it. It's totally different. Um, but it's not nearly as big as what it was now. But I thought this stuff looks really cool. And so, okay, maybe I take a chance and maybe this works, maybe it doesn't. $99 is a lot of money, but at the same time, me and the girls will have a lot of fun using this bath stuff. And if I can put it on my credit card and possibly make enough money back just to pay that kit off, then if that's all I can do with it, then maybe it's worth a try. So long story short, God kept speaking to me, and I kept talking to Cassie, and I thought, I'm just going to do this. I'm signing up. I'm going to try it. And my husband, he actually was very supportive, even though I felt like in the back of his head, he was probably thinking, great, here she goes with another one of these companies. Let's see how long this one lasts. And I was afraid to tell all of my friends because I figured they would laugh at me and think, oh, how many direct sales companies is this for you now, Angie? But I signed up, went out on a limb, and I thought, I'm at least going to give this my all, and I am going to see what happens. So I set my launch party date. Cassie was awesome. She had a call with me. We set my launch party date. She was in another state, so I was on my own with the launch party. I was a nervous wreck, but I got my kit out. All I had was whatever came in my starter kit. I got my catalogs out, and I told everybody I could think of that, hey, there's this new company called Perfectly Posh. Come stop by my launch party. I had 2 sessions, one in the morning from 10 to 12, one at night from 6 to 8. And I said, everybody come on out. We're going to do door prizes, food, fun. Like, it's a natural bath company. Come check it out. I honestly wasn't expecting maybe 5 people to show up because I had had parties for other things that I couldn't get 2 people to before. But I prayed about it, and I thought, God, if this is what I'm supposed to do, then I'm just going to put myself out there and see what happens. I am not kidding you when I say that over 30 people showed up to my launch party between the day session and the night session. I did so much volume at that party that I went pink and hit my props in that party. Not my entire props, but my ones up to $500 because I didn't have any recruits yet. But it was a $1,200 launch party, very first party. So you figure the commission on that because I went pink right away. So that was well over $250. So not only did I make the money back on my kit, but an extra $150. I could not believe it. I seriously, literally was almost in tears. And I thought, even if the rest of this does not go as good, like, I can't believe that I just made $150. This is a lot of money for us right now. And I was so excited about that. And from that party, a couple other friends booked. They wanted parties. Other people were asking about it. The orders were coming in. I just could not believe it. And it just started to take off. And I decided I'm going to put my all into this. And within a couple of months, like, it was significantly making a difference to our finances. It was getting to the point where I could see that this was the blessing that I needed. This is what I had been looking for, and this was going to make it to where I could stay home with my kids and we could get caught up financially. I started building a team, and as I was out there sharing, I just decided I'm going to go for this. I'm going to aim for this monthly award thing every month. I'm just going to give it my all, and that's what I did. I poured everything I had, heart and soul, into this business, and just really, really started working at it. And I did well, and I promoted to Pink Plus One pretty quickly. Things were going great. I thought, this is it, this is great. And then I had to go print my report out so that I could remember exactly how to tell you this. But about my 4th or 5th month in, things were going awesome, like promoting, everything's going great. 4 or 5 months in, I didn't hit rank. I had promoted, and then all of a sudden I didn't hit rank. Our sales actually, I was a pink plus 2 at the time, and we dropped down from hitting rank of pink plus 2 down to I was a pink plus 1 for a while. Dropped down to $3,000 in sales one month, dropped down to $1,800 in sales. So, that didn't do much for my morale. For me to hit pink plus 2 and it's awesome, and then the next month, wait, we're only 3,000, and the next month we're only 1,800. Wait a minute, wait, my business is going backwards. Like, this isn't supposed to happen. For 3 or 4 months, my business is going backwards. My team isn't hitting rank. People on my team are quitting. This is bad. This is it. Okay, I guess this business isn't meant for me. Like, if I can't hit rank in 3 or 4 months and my business was going backwards, then I guess this is it, and I guess I can't do it. And I thought, and I had that mindset for a little while, and I thought, I guess this is it. So it's been a fun run, but I thought this thing was going to work out. Maybe it's not. And around that time, I started talking to Cassie, and she's always been great about motivating me and picking me up when I have rough times. And she said, somehow, I don't remember how she told me or if I found out, but there was a leadership opportunity. Leadership kind of is like the new Premier Con that we have now. And they were opening it up to pink plus 2s. And even though I wasn't hitting rank as a pink plus 2, I was technically a pink plus 2, so I could go to this conference. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. Maybe this will be something that I can learn from and I can figure out how to turn this business around. I mean, I've had 4 horrible months in a row, 4 months that I can't hit rank. My team's dropping like flies. What am I doing wrong? So I signed up and I went, and it was in Atlanta. And I'll never forget walking into that first meeting, and I'm a pink plus 2. I didn't know much about the company at the time. I hadn't been around maybe 6 or 7 months. And Andrew McBride walks right up to me and says, "Hey, Angie, I'm glad you're here." And I was just like jaw dropped. Like, did Andrew McBride just come up to me and he knows my name? I'm just a pink plus 2. He knows who I am. It really did something for me. I had worked for my hospital for 15 years, and I can tell you that if I walked into any of those training meetings when I was working at the hospital, that CEO of the hospital had no clue who I was, even though I had been there for 15 years. He didn't know my name. He didn't know if I was a doctor, nurse, lab tech, whatever. He knew nothing about me. And here is this CEO of our company. Here I am, a little pink plus 2 walking in, and he knows me. He says hi to me, and he says, like, my name before I even introduce myself. I sat in that meeting and I heard stories from pink plus 3s and premiers and silver premiers and gold premiers. I watched a gold premier get a $4,000, maybe it was $5,000 bonus check in that meeting for the first month that they introduced the premier bonus pool. And I was just in awe. I could not believe that I was in a room full of ladies that were making this business work. They were up high in those ranks, and that lady just got, it was Tasha Johansson, by the way. She just got a $4,000 or $5,000 check handed to her for a bonus pool. What? This is amazing, the possibilities. And even though I was seeing that from all of them around, I kept thinking, that is really awesome for them. This is very inspiring, but I will not be there. Like, I'm just a pink plus 2. I can't even hit rank right now, so I can't even imagine being a premier. I can't even imagine that being me. And I did have that mindset. So a few days into, this was a 2 or 3 day conference. So the next day, Andrew did a lot of talking to us. He talked numbers to us. He talked business strategy. And long story short, he said some things that really made me realize some things that I needed to work on and that I could pour time and effort into, and that some things that maybe I wasn't doing the best job at. I was learning about this as I went along, so I didn't always know how to do everything. I took all of the information from that conference and I left out of there on fire. And I decided when I went back, even though I felt like maybe I wasn't going to go any further with this business, and even though it had been 4 months, of no rank, not hitting rank, everything going backwards, going from a team of Pink plus 2 hitting rank at 4,000 to down to 1,800 and just going backwards every month, that maybe somehow I was still going to do this and I was going to give it my all. I had my fight back in me after meeting Andrew and after listening to all he had to say. And I just went back, I came home and I just said, that's it. I'm doing this. I'm nailing it. I will do it. I have the paper right here. So the very next month, we went from 1,800 back up to 3647. So almost back up to rank. The very next month, I promoted to Pink plus 3. We did a $9,000 team volume. The month after that, we jumped up to 10,000. So we're growing. We're doing awesome. Within 3 months of going to that conference, 3 months, because that was the beginning of February. In April, I was a premier. No joke. Went from not being able to hit rank as a Pink plus 2, 1,800 team volume, to April. 2 months, actually just 2 months later, to a premier team doing a team volume of $25,000. Yep. Printed out my report just so I can remember exactly how the numbers went. So I tell you this to let you know that even though I'm a platinum premier right now, it's not always been easy. I started my business out great. I was very blessed. I had an awesome launch party. Things were great, promoting to Pink, Pink plus 1 really quickly, but then things did die down for a couple of months and I had a rough time with that. And I could have took those months and said, you know what, I do give up. I'm going backwards. I'm going backwards for 4 months in a row. It doesn't feel good. I can't do this. Maybe I can't do this. And I just had all those thoughts in my head and I thought, if I can't motivate my team and grow my team in 4 months, then I'm definitely doing something wrong. But then when I got that fire back in me and I had my mindset and I went to that place in my mind that said, you know what, I can do this and I will do this, in a difference of 2 months, I was a premier making a team volume of $25,000. And I will let you know that since then, I have pretty much, we've hit rank every month since then. And I don't say that that came easily. I will not say that once I hit Premier that it's been smooth sailing ever since. Like, yeah, we hit rank ever since then and everything's been great. Yes, we've hit rank every month since then, but it has not always been sunshine, rainbows, easy. I've had to fight for it every single month. I've had to work with my other leaders to help them, to get them where they need to be, to make this work every single month. It's a work in progress every single month. I can never sit back. I can never take it easy. You can't do that. You have to keep building and growing every single day. I'm always bringing new recruits and new team members into the business every single month. You have to. I'm always looking for new customers. I'm still doing home parties. I'm doing Facebook parties. I'm doing everything that I was doing in the beginning still, because I have to still work my business. I have to keep it going, because some team members, they'll come and go and it's not for everybody, and that's okay. We need to realize that everybody's in Posh for different reasons. Some people will come and stay and love it. Some people just want to come and, buy $50 every few months because they want the discount, or, some people want it to be a part-time or full-time job, but everybody's different, and team members, they will come and go, and you always have to keep growing. You always have to bringing new team members in. You need to always be working on your personal business, making sure you're always giving great customer service, always following up with your customers. You never take a break. And if you do that, if you always move forward, then your business will go forward. It won't always be easy. You'll have to fight for it. You really will. I'm sitting here at this month and I still need about $250 in sales this month or a recruit. And we've got 4 days left. And I'm not looking at that as undoable. I know that I can do it. And so you just always have to stay in that mindset and make sure that you're always moving forward and that you're always working your business. And I want you to know that it's okay if you have a rough couple of months. It happens. We've all been there. I've definitely been there. I'm not one to sit here and say, like, it's just been easy for me the whole time. It's been super easy. I, went pink at my launch party and got to Platinum Premier and just been rocking it out ever since. I tell you, I had difficult months in there, and there were months that things happened that really broke me emotionally. There were months that I really had to fight for it. I had months that I cried, I screamed, I've been there. Trust me. But the only difference that I'm still here is because I have the mindset. I keep telling myself that no matter what, I'm always going to move forward because you know why? Because I have fought really hard to get where I am today. And I'll never stop fighting for that because I see the difference that it makes. I see what it's done for my family to go from someone that was going to have to go back to work full time in the healthcare to be able to, I am our prime source of income in our house now. Like we're building a new house. We've got a car. I've been able to donate money to my church and donate money to friends that needed it and do all these things that I never thought was possible. And I would have never dreamed making the income that I'm making now. And I know that it's possible and I want it for every single one of you that wants it. Nothing gives me greater joy right now than to see some of you moving up the ranks and to see you fighting for your businesses, to see you pulling yourself out of those slumps, to see you all never giving up, to see you all know that you're going to be where I'm at one day. I see that Posh has changed so many of your lives, and it's it's really an amazing and emotional thing. Like I just absolutely love our company. It's one of the best things that I could ever imagine. I thank God every day for this business. I thank God every day for the team that we have. Not just what this business has done financially and those types of things, but emotionally, it's done things for me. It's given me self worth on a lot of things. You know, when you go from working full time to being a stay at home mom, it's not always easy. It's made me feel like I can still be a stay at home mom and still provide for my family. And it's given me that. It's so much more because just watching you all grow and reach your dreams and everything has been the most rewarding thing that I could ever imagine. And it's the best thing that I've ever experienced and been a part of. There's just something about watching lives change, like literally lives changed, knowing what a difference that this business can make. And so I really, really encourage you, whatever your dream is with Posh, to never give up on it, to fight for it every single month, because I promise you, whatever it is, you will get there. You just have to keep that mindset and know that you're not going to give up. You might have a rough couple of months in a row and think that that's some kind of sign that maybe this isn't meant for you or maybe you can't do this. If I had let those rough couple of months keep me down and I had decided that that's what it meant for me, then I wouldn't be here today. I would probably be back working full time at the hospital. My kids would be back in watching, some of them are old enough to watch themselves now, but some of them would be in daycare. My life would be totally different. And I think a lot of yours would be too. So, whether you're just getting started in Posh or you've been in Posh for a while, whether you've reached your goals or you haven't, I just want to encourage all of you that the sky is the limit. You can do this. And I never want you to stop trying. And I'm here for each and every one of you. There's lots of great leaders on these teams. Utilize us. I'm here for all of you. Feel free to always ask if you have any questions. Don't ever feel like you're alone in this business. You have so much great support, and I never want anybody to feel like they have to give up because they don't have anybody to listen to them. If you need to vent, if you need somebody to give you that pep talk, whatever you need, and you can go to your upline, go to your premier. We're here to help. Like, just don't do it alone. Don't stay in that slump and don't stay in that place alone. Know that you're surrounded by people that have been through tough times, and let us talk to you. Let us help you. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my story, and I hope that this will help you and keep you motivated. And I have a list in the team page of 40 ways, 4 days. That's a lot of the things that I do to work my business. And as I said before, I aim for that monthly award every month. And I really know that if you are aiming for that every month, if you're working your business consistently and growing consistently, that's going to keep you growing. So just really, really, really just work for it. Don't give up and know that anything is possible. Thanks.